Oh. Kannst du mich hören, Gregor? Okay. Moin, Philipp. Ist denn das ISO eigentlich auch an Bord? Okay. Das kann sein. Ich wurde da bei der Stummschaltung freigegeben. Wobei Susanne konnte ich vorhin hören.
Also ich kann auch weiter anmachen. Ich weiß nur nicht, ob Sie uns dann im Raum schon hören.
Bin ich jetzt hörbar?
Ja. Ja, schön. Guten Morgen. Ja.
Morning.
Hello. Hello. Yes. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Shubha Bigal.
Hello. Hello. Testing. Check. Nothing. Hello. Hello. You
Hello.
You listening? ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে?
ঠিক আছে।
শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? ক্লিয়ারলি শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? ক্লিয়ারলি শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? ক্লিয়ারলি শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? ক্লিয়ারলি শুনতে পাচ্ছে সবাই? হ্যাঁ? ওকে। এটা বললে কি সবাই ক্লিয়ারলি শুনতে পাচ্ছে? এটা তো আমার প্রেজেন্টেশনের জন্য।
Hello. Hello, very good morning, Professor Eckhart Kraft.
Hello.
Are you hearing me?
Hello. Hello.
Professor Eckhart. Hello. 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 The mute to tara korche na. Hello. Hello, Gregor. Are you hearing me?
Hello, good morning. I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. How are you?
Fine, thank you very much.
Yeah. So good.
Good morning.
From Bangladesh.
Shubha Bigal. This is Eckhart. I can hear you as well.
Hello. Hello, good noon everyone.
Good morning, Shubha Bigal.
Shubho Vikhal, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hopefully
And-
you are as
and
well.
Shubho Sakal from your country.
Because it's still we are in the good morning.
Very good.
It is 11:30, so Shubho Sakal.
Sir, এই
Okay, I'm so sorry. Shubha Shakal.
স্যার আমার সাথে সম্পর্ক নেই স্যার। স্যার এটার সাথে সম্পর্ক নেই স্যার, এটা হলো ওখান থেকে কন্ট্রোল হচ্ছে স্যার। ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, ওই যখন স্যাররা কথা বলবে ফোকাস করতে হবে ওইদিকে। ওকে, we can start. Yeah. So, Professor Eckhart, if you give permission, we can start. So, Professor Jyoti. আমি এখানে রাখেন স্যার, আমরা শুরু করি স্যার, আমরা শুরু করি। আমি করছি স্যার, উনি টাইম দিয়ে জয়েন করবে বলছি আমার। এই পার্টিসিপেন্ট লিস্টটা দেখো তো, প্রফেসর জ্যোতি প্লিজ চেক। ইয়া, ও এনারে আছেন না? হ্যাঁ স্যার অবশ্যই, আমি কথা হচ্ছে কিছুক্ষণ আগে। আমি মনে হয় এটা শুরু করবো, একটা জাস্ট কল দিয়ে শুরু, এই যে কিছুক্ষণ আগে আমার সাথে কথা হচ্ছে। সো উই ক্যান স্টার্ট। ইয়া, ওকে।
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, on this magnificently glorious day for this SCIP Plastics Project family. Today, along with my colleague Ananya Sarkar, Secretary Technical,
Okay, thank you,
I,
thank you. Okay.
Ataus Samad, Secretary Administrative, will host you today for the entire program.
Okay, please, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Honorable guests, members from Bauhaus-Universität Weimar, Germany, members from Institute for Social Ecological Research, Germany, benevolent faculty members of Khulna University of Engineering and Technology, political and implementing partners, Khulna City Corporation, Monglaport Municipality, Bangladesh Jute Association, Nirala Janakollan Samiti, Chittagong University of Engineering and Technology, and SCIP Plastics Project team. How thrilling is this day? We, on behalf of our respected Project Director, Professor Dr. Muhammad Rafizul Islam Sir, would like to present a gracious welcome to you all present here at this SCIP Plastics Project Family Project Office, my apologies, and connected virtually to this project formulation meeting. Our project leader, Professor Dr. Eckhart Kraft, is connected to us virtually. So, sir, would you say hello to us, please?
Yeah, it's okay, no problem. Okay.
Shubho Shakal, Shubho Bigal. Good morning, guten Morgen to everybody.
Good morning.
It's very great to be virtually with you in the SCIP project family. Greetings from Germany.
Thank you so much, sir. Another special guest from Chittagong University of Engineering and Technology, Professor Dr. Farjana Rahman Juthi, is also connected to us virtually. Ma'am, would you say hello to us, please?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Respected guests, we are honored with your presence and we would like to felicitate our guests at this moment. So, requesting Ananya Sarkar and Roxana Parveen to felicitate our guests with flower bouquet.
স্যার আপনাকে দিয়ে শুরু করবে স্যার। স্যারকে দাও। হ্যাঁ, এই স্বাগত। দিয়েছো আমার লাগবে না এই স্যারকে আবার একটু দাও ছবিটা দিতে আমি কল দিচ্ছি ওকে
We will start off with the welcome address and project brief by our respected project director, Professor Dr. Muhammad Rafizul Islam sir. He is a professor of Geotechnical and Geoenvironmental Engineering, Department of Civil Engineering, Khulna University of Engineering and Technology. So, humbly requesting Professor Dr. Muhammad Rafizul Islam sir to address the Congress.
Let's show now. Sir, please. So, Honorable Chair of this program, Professor Dr. SCIP Islam, Dean, Faculty of Civil Engineering. So, he is available, so please celebrate him by Floria. Yes, sir. So, I would like to start my presentation. So, Honorable Chair of this program, Professor Dr. SCIP Islam, Dean, Faculty of Civil Engineering, and Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Muhammad Alamgir, scientific expert of this project, and also the Honorable Member, University Grants Commission, Bangladesh, and also the Honorable Project Leader, Professor Eckhart Kraft, who is connecting through online, and also the project leader, and also the pioneer person of this project. A special guest, Professor Dr. Raghunath, Head Department of Civil Engineering. Then Professor Dr. Kaji Hamidul Bari, Professor Department of Civil Engineering. Mr. Abdul Jabbar, he is the focal point of this project, and also the Chief Planning Officer, Khulna City Corporation. Professor Dr. Farjana, she is connecting through online, and he is the scientific director of this project from KUET end. Mr. Sheikh Abdur Rahman, he is the Honorable Mayor, Mangalapur Municipality, and also the very important and implementing partner of this project. Sheikh Abed Ali, Honorable General Secretary, Nirala Janakalyan Samiti, are also the important part of this project and also the implementing partner. So, Honorable teacher of this university and also the team of SCIP Plastic Projects, media personnel, ladies and gentlemen who are present in physical are also connecting in through online. So, very good known and very good morning from German side, and also welcome to my technical presentation. So, this project is actually very important part, especially not our Bangladesh. Actually, this project will cover all the plastics issues. So, this project is very important, not only in Bangladesh, but about the worldwide issues. That's why the funder is very excited to cover all the components here. So, later I will discuss. So, the term is sustainable capacity building to reduce irreversible pollution by plastics. I mean, in our native language, the plastic kotrik apranodushan. So, this is our challenge. That's why we have to identify the sources of this plastic. And we have to consider how can we manage this plastic from source, and how can we manage that from every sectors. I mean, in source and the intermediate stages and for our ultimate destination. So, I will discuss this later. So, this is the month of August. So, I pray to Almighty Allah for the departed soul of our people who sacrificed their lives in 1971 and also the 15th August in 1975. So, just this project already I briefed that is important part. So, what are the scope of that project? If you think that is the knowledge transfer hub, that is very important. This part is the root of all the components of this project. I mean, the source of, in recycling, assessment, secondary disposal point, landfill. So, if we want to cover all the aspects here, we have to trend up. That's why there are two important parts. One is knowledge transfer hub, and another is awareness center. So, this awareness center will be established very soon in Khulna City Corporation all buildings. So I would like to thank the representative from KCC, I mean Mr. Abdul Jabbar. He supported, that's why the component already in our hand. So another term is that is knowledge transfer hub. So thanks to our honorable head of this department. He took lots of steps and also our advisory committee. So thanks that we already started this component to establish in this university. So the challenge is we have to achieve the sustainable goal of these projects. So step by step, I'll discuss this one. So the total budget, I would like to thank the funder, the Ministry of Germany. They provided total fund that is 3.8 million euro. So I think that is a big project, and this is the only project that funded by the German government in Bangladesh. So the amount is very big. So that fund will be distributed in year to year. So we are in the 2021. We already received the fund. We have two components. One is KUET, another one is Khulna City Corporation. So just I would like to introduce all our political, I mean this term is political, but it is the government organization. Another term is implementing partner. So Bauhaus-Universität Weimar, that is the main lead partner of this project. Department of Civil Engineering, Khulna University of Engineering Technology, we are the main Asian implementing partner. So our main target to cover the waste collection, recycling, and also the landfill component. Yeah, and another two component will cover the Chittagong University of Engineering Technology. Khulna City Corporation is not only the political but also the implementing partner, Ministry of Environment with us, and also the University Grant Commissions, and main three important partners of this project, Mongla Port Purushabha. Because we have to provide a degree, I mean MSc and PhD degree. So these three organizations, they will provide lots of access and data. So later I will discuss. And Bangladesh Jute Association. So we have to substitute the plastic by jute, that another part. And another part is the implementing partner, Nirala 24 number, 24 number what? I mean in Nirala Janakollan Samiti. So, and another part is the IOC. Actually, this team, they will provide the training for our stakeholders and those who are directly involved for the solid waste management. So I already explained the role of these political partners. So main issues, these three implementing partners, Mongla Port Purushabha, Bangladesh Jute Association, and Nirala Janakollan Samiti. That's why I would like to invite you, and I am very happy that you present here. So the main provision is to provide the access and institutional backup to our team, because we already complete all the recruitment process, and our engineers and our researchers, they are available. They are very ready to start their work, and sometimes they need to provide the data. So your cooperation regarding this topic is very important. So the journey was started in March 2021. And in the meantime, in 2022, January, I mean, after 1 year, we got the approval. So that project's in our hand. So I'd like to thank Professor Eckhart Kraft and Professor Dr. Alamgir sir. I think without their effort, it was not possible to come this project in this department. So I'd like to thank. And already I explained a lot of components here. I mean, they established knowledge hub and waste lab, and also to provide a degree from this project. So thanks to Professor Eckhart Kraft, your tremendous effort and also the hard work. Without your hard work, it was not possible to come this project in our hand. So that journey was started in decade long. That means Professor Kraft in 2007, he came here when I was a PhD student in this department. And you have lots of memories here. And I would like to appreciate your hard work, and also Professor Alamgir, your collaboration, and I would like to thank that you embracing me as the project director of this project. So I would like to thank all the technical supports from our Honorable Vice Chancellor and also the Honorable Head of this department. That's why I complete the necessary components of this project. So also thanks, you provided your necessary message for our brochure. So I will publish this very soon. And also, I already explained that we have two components. One is Khulna City Corporation, another one is our KUET part. So thanks to all that we complete all our agreement, and our project is already started from April 2022. So thanks to all. Then also thanks to institutional and administrative support from you, and also our dean, also our head, and also our former vice chancellor. So just I would like to, that is very brief description. Actually, today's the meeting objective is to introduce our projects. That's why, and our implementing parts, they have lots of role. Just I'm trying to introduce our all components to you. I think our family member, you are very familiar about this project. However, I want to explain this one for all of you. So this is the Professor Eckhart Kraft, this is the project leader. And these 5 persons, they are the right hands of the project. And they coordinate from financial to our research team. And yesterday we had a meeting. So several days they conducted a meeting and also guide our researchers how to develop, how to start their work. So thanks to all of you. And we are very unknown person too. I would like to thank all of you because I already started our work. So Professor Bari, Professor Khandakar Mahabub Hachan, S.M. Munizzaman, and also me, Dr. Mohammad Alamgir, we already started our projects and also guide our student as a scientific supervisor. So special thanks to Dr. Alamgir sir, because that concept actually came from your ideas. That's why I think we are very lucky that we are going to establish a knowledge transfer hub very near to our civil engineering department. So thanks to you. And also, I'm very happy that that is the first time that Mayor agreed and also permission to establish the knowledge transfer in the KCC own building. That was very rare, but I think this credit also goes to Dr. Alamgir sir because you took lots of initiative here. That's why finally that room in our hand. So thanks to Honorable Head, I have a committee most of the time, especially to establish our waste lab and also the hub, knowledge transfer hub, and also all the issues we try to cover, and we try to sit a meeting and also to get discussion. So thanks to all of you. A special thanks to Dr. Shazan Ali sir and also Dr. Harun Rashid sir for your guide. That's why I am here. So that is our political and government organizations. Before submitting the proposal, I collected some LOI, letter of intent, from that organization. So I'd like to thank all of you. And also they provide their necessary important message for our bush here. So I would like to acknowledge the KCC team, that also important part with us because we know around 1.5 crore BDT Taka will expend for our KCC purposes. So KCC Mayor already appointed these 2 persons as a focal, Mr. Abdul Jabbar and Ms. Nur Nahar Andy as the assistant focal point. So they are very important for this project. So from KUET part, they are also acting for. That's the collaborative part. 2 components we are going to conduct in collaborative, KUET and also KUET. So the scientific director, Fazana Jyoti, and they have 2 scientific supervisor. They also guided the students. Basically, the marine plastic, in Manglapur, and another one is jute, plastic substitution by jute. So they will also work with us. So thanks to all of you. Already our 3 implementing partners for our Sheikh Soed Ali. He's very busy because he has another program in Khulna City. That's why he didn't come here. So I'd like to thank all of you who already visited your office, because you know this project is very important part. Because we have to, again I am explaining, we have to provide a degree and we have to complete the goal of that project. So that your access and your cooperation is very important. So I would like to introduce Mayor Manglapur, that is Mr. Sheikh Abdur Rahman, and Sheikh Abid Ali, that is the Secretary of Nerala, because we have a stakeholder analysis and we have to conduct a awareness camping program in a Khulna City area. So that project leader, that is German team, they selected that 3 components to our projects. So thanks, you provided an important message to us. And this is the IOC team. This team is very important, especially to conduct our awareness campaign program and half tent. Yes, another important part, so that is the recruitment policy. They already guided us. So to maintain the transparency, we followed their rule. They provided the QT test. So we developed a website and also the web page, and our circulation process we already published in the paper. And after completion all the process, this is our selection board. So we try to complete all the fields here. I mean, in the head and dean, and also the special expert from our environmental field, and expert from the accounting and management part, and CEO from and joint secretary from City Corporation, and also the chief planning officer of KCC. So this is our selection board committee. So I'd like to thank all of you. Then that is some research that we held some selection board regarding this recruitment process. So that is the very, because thanks to our honorable head, he provided this room, and also our some employee SCIP Plastic Project. They are sitting not only that floor, they are also sitting in the first floor. They are sitting in my room. So that is our Atal Samat, that is Secretary Administrative, and SM Rapu. They provided the cooperation and also the management part of this project. So our financial body, that is also important part of this. And several times we guided from our German team, so we have to manage and we have to ensure the transparency of it. And we have to follow the procurement rule of that project. That as per our CRTS rule, we already appointed our section head. I mean, Mr. Khan, he is the head of this account section, and our two team members, they try to maintain all the transaction regularly, and monthly we already provide the report to our funder. So thanks to all of you. Then the 2nd June, we already inaugurated this room. So thank you again, our respective teacher of this department, and also to the head of this department. So that is also requirement. We have to submit a progressive report. That's why I'm trying to see here. And also we have to publish at least 3 articles in journal, and that journal should be at least 100 citations. So that's why I maintained a gallery, and please pray for us that that we can complete the achievement of that project. So several times our head and also our expert team and also our senior teacher, they provide some guidelines of the project, not only the research but also how to maintain the discipline, how to maintain the environment of this development. So thanks to all of you. So that is the main challenge of our project. So that is the knowledge transfer hub. Already I explained that one. That is the secondary disposal point, that the intermediate stage of the waste management sector, and that is the recycling shop. And that's my assessment of landfill. So we have to complete all the components within the next 28 months. So knowledge transfer here, already our faculty, they are very familiar about this term, and we have this component is under establishing. So this is the roof of 2 components. One is awareness center, and this one is waste lab. So that is already the agreement is signed by the register of this university on behalf of our Vice Chancellor. So I would like to thank all of you. And that is the very tentative because it's under processing. And I would like to thank Dr. Rashid sir. He provided lots of effort here. So on behalf of our team, so I would like to thank you. So that is the hub team. They are sitting actually the Alamgir sir room in the first floor. So thank you, sir. And we are trying to create some components. This component is very Twitter and YouTube and also the website to run our program in online. I mean in the hub training program and so on. So already Dr. Rokunuddin sir, he provided me a temporary basis on room. So any Friday or any Saturday, we will start our program anytime. So thank you, sir. So we already developed this website, and hopefully when we'll get the permission from our German side, we can start our program, no problem. So that is the supporting documents. Already we discussed our team, so we start anytime. So that is the very tentative. We already sent the program to our Baus team. So when we'll get the permission, so we can start our program. And you are cordially invited to attend the program. So I'll send you the email. So the waste lab, that is the very important part of our project. So I'm very happy that we are going to establish around 2 crore BDT Taka. So we have this money. So anytime we can expend this money for our development. Already we started to procure some equipment and some equipment in our hand. Today or tomorrow we'll get another equipment. So thanks to all of you, especially Barista, he is the head of this waste lab, and also Professor Thomas and Gregor. They provided their valuable ideas. How can we start the lab and how can we procure the equipment? So this is some scenario that we conducted several meetings with our expert team, especially to our vendor, and finally this is the very temporary, that is we already used this room. So thanks the inserts of that room, Dr. Khalikuzaman sir and also Bari sir, that he provided this room on a temporary basis. So that is the awareness center I already explained, and that is the main important part, actually the 24 number ward, because we have a plan anytime we conduct the program, and this is the center, permanently center. Beyond the project period, City Corporation will continue this program. So thanks to Honorable Mayor and also Mr. Abdul Jabbar, we already got this permission. I think it's very exceptional example that first time we got a own room from a own building. So that is the center of awareness. This is our team. They will run that center timely. And this is our very tentative schedule. We already sent the program to our Baus team when we'll get the permission, so we can start the program in our 24 number ward. So that is the outcome on. So I have to go past. That is our secondary disposal points. That is the intermediate stage. So the important part, the funder provided some big amount of money to modify the open dump site into a engineered concept. So that's why that is the actually in-house system. So we are going to develop the site with the collaboration of our city corporation. So Mr. Annie she is available here. So she will cooperate. She already cooperated with us. So thanks to you. So we have a plan to modify that site from our projects. So that is the very tentative site. So we already visited that site, and we have a plan to convert that, and we also to incorporate that concept to the point. So another point is recycling shops. That is another side, because recycling is easy, but the important part is the non-recyclable part we have to address. And in this field, Dr. Barisar is explained in his lecture, I think so. So we'll try to cover that component here. So we already visited the Hamco Industries. They have the concept, and we try to how to modify a recyclable part into plastic product, and how to produce a fuel, I mean liquid fuel from that concept. So we have a plan. So that another one is landfill. Yes, landfill. So that is also important part. They have a program, they have a target, how and convert a open dumping site into engineered landfill. So we already visited that site. The site is Khulna. So they have a plan. They already completed the tender process. By the end of this November, they will start the program, and we'll support the money, and we also work with them. Because on masters and PhD students, we work with this concept. So I think they already established the components. So we already had some meetings. So I think we will incorporate all the components from our project support. So the another thing I have to go first, that is the marine plastic. That is our Mangalaport site. So lots of issues here. Actually, the main challenge to give the permission. Already we talked with the authority of the projects and give some permission. Our also Honorable Mayor or Mangalapur Purushaba, he is available. We had a meeting, so we'll try our best to complete this component. That's the actually collaborative part. One part is KUET, and another part is our KUET. So they will collaborate also with us. So we have a plan of action for Mellingford. So I think we'll try to complete that part. So another last part, that is the plastic substitution by jute. So this is our team, and also the KUET also with work with us. So we'll try our best, and in that part, the jute association is also very important for us, but unfortunately he's not available today. So thanks to Mahabub sir, he developed this concept, and we'll try to complete this part very soon. So the important part already I explained. As an outcome of these projects, we have to develop a master plan and all city corporation addressing all the components here. And when the process is developed with us, so we have to publish at least 3 publications in the reported journal, because the first condition is also maintain the citations, 100 citations. So it's our challenge. So in that case, dear sir and dear all the audience, your support and guidance is also important for this project now. So I think that this is my last slide. So the important announce that the awareness campaign program will start very soon. However, the date is very tentative, because I mentioned the date, but it is under consideration. Another, the official kickoff meeting. Initially, I told that is the very introductory meeting to express and to introduce our projects to all of you. So our official kickoff meeting will be held in 24th September in 2020. And also, you are also welcome to attend the next SCIP conference 2023 in this department. So thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful demonstration of how your team are putting their best in every single day to make the SCIP Plastics Project an exemplary success story to the world.
Now is the time to receive insights from the project leader, Professor Dr. Eckhard Kraft. He is the Chair of Biotechnology in Resource Management, Bauhaus-Universität for Infrastructure Solutions, Faculty of Civil Engineering, Bauhaus-Universität Weimar, Germany. So sincerely requesting Professor Dr. Eckhard Kraft to deliver his expert cognizance.
Shubho Shakal, Shubho Begal. Good morning, good morning, dear colleagues and friends. We are together for this project formulation meeting of the project, which is called SCIP Plastics, Sustainable Capacity Building to Reduce Irreversible Pollution by Plastics. That sounds like a huge challenge. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you making the effort to meet at KUET campus, as well as being parallel with us in an online meeting, organizing all the technical affairs. Some of you had to travel from other parts of the country, like Monglapur to Khulna. Other came from downtown city to KUET. So thank you very much for all the effort. Last but not least, Professor Alamgir coming from Dhaka to KUET. Let me welcome and thank personally some of the participants of that meeting. And I would like to start with the Dean of Faculty of Civil Engineering, Professor Saiful Islam. My special thank has to go to Professor Rafisul from KUET University, organizing the meeting and carrying the burden of all the organizing, as well as content-based issues related to that meeting. I'd like to welcome and thank Professor Muhammad Alamgir, being the scientific expert in that meeting, a long-lasting member of KUET University, being 2 times the Vice Chancellor of that university, and now being a member of the University Grants Commission situated in Dhaka. My special thank goes as well to Professor Rocco Aman. He is the head of Department of Civil Engineering. All of you know that there's no way having a successful project without having the helping hand and the welcome of the head of the department. I'd like to welcome the Mayor of Mongla Port Municipality, which is a political partner, Sheikh Abdur Rahman. Thank you very much for making the effort and your willingness. I'd like to welcome as well Sheikh Said Al Ali, Chairman of the Bangladesh Jute Association, which might be one of the backbones of the working groups. And I'd like to thank for her kind participation, Sheikh Abed Ali, which is General Secretary on Nirala Janon Kalan Shamiti. I think that is ward number 24. And my last project I worked together with, I think, ward 14 in Khulna city. A special welcome and thank you goes to Mr. Abir Ul Chabar, who is the Chief Planning Officer at KCC as well as KCC member and has already been mentioned by Professor Rafi Suhl. And special thanks and welcome to my colleague, Professor Chuti, being the Scientific Director at Jute University, which is the collaborative partner at our partner university in the more north of Bangladesh, related to the largest port. I'd like to thank the colleagues at KUET University for participating very actively. I'd like to mention, for instance, Professor Bari, with whom I have a very long-lasting collaboration in our ongoing partnership. Maybe there's some translation necessary. I'm not sure. My special thank goes as well to the colleagues in Germany. So I'd like to thank the kind participation of the Institute for Social Ecological Research. Sorry, dear colleagues. And probably you might have the colleagues on the screen. That is Mr. Zimmermann, as well as Ms. Kerber and Mr. Sattelegger. And there will be a time not too far to meet all of us in Bangladesh practical. Last but not least, I will give my best regards to my own team. And my own team means Gregor, Susanna, Senta, Philip, and Thomas is not with us. He's luckily on holiday. I would like to welcome all distinguished guests, and I would like to welcome all team members, both sides, KUET, JUET, related partners in Bangladesh, political, institutional. So on the screen, you might see as well that we have the strong collection with Professor Shutip and Professor Asiful in JUET as well, just to introduce the whole bunch of people we have with us. As already been said, my name is Kraft, and it has already been mentioned that I have a longer relationship to Bangladesh that started, I think, in 2006, 2007 on an EU project. And we wanted to show with local machinery and local technology that we are able to construct as a pilot, for instance, a landfill site partly in Khulna city, Rajband, and that we can probably improve the waste management situation at least partly in one of the wards, Ward 14 that time. And all of us had the strong interest to show those initiatives out of the capital, because I guess a lot of you know that it's probably more or less easy to establish something new in a capital, but it makes much more effort to install and establish something successful out of the capital. So I'm really happy that we are in a spot related to Khulna as well as to the university in Chattogram. I've been visiting the country frequently, just to let you know something about me. So I think I've been 12 or 14 times in Bangladesh, continuing the Waste Safe conference each 2 years. And even the last conference, while COVID has been started, we made virtually by screen. So over the years, we had all these continuation on collaboration. Within the COVID times, we took the time to apply for research projects together with our partners. And finally, we got a contract for the project proposal SCIP Plastics. Well, I'm really thankful to the Federal Ministry for the Environment, Nature Conservation, Nuclear Safety and Consumer Protection in Germany that they are willing to fund that project, which is among the projects they are funding, yes, one of the larger one. And my special thank at that point goes to Professor Rafisul, since he took already the time and effort to introduce the massive effort which has already been done by the beginning of the project, end of last year, that he introduced us. Very impressing, the structure of the project and the progress which has already been made. On the Bangladesh side, since you have already been realizing that on the German part, we are just 9, 10 people, some in Weimar and some at the Institute Institute for Social Ecological Research, ISO, the shortcut abbreviation for us. If we go to this slide about the project structure, let me point just some ideas which are related to those people who had the, let's say, the idea in mind for applying for such a large project. It will start with the knowledge transfer hub. And as the name says, the project is about sustainability. It is about capacity building. And capacity building means, in my mind, for a country like Bangladesh, existing 50 years, and we all have this drama in mind, 15th of August, 1975, still to create and build up capacity on scientific as well as manpower, women's power issues. That's why we start with the knowledge transfer hub to establish capacity on science, to bring capacity and possibilities to later on make research, starting now, but continuing, making analysis on waste management substrates, as well as specified on plastics, and for instance, giving the chance and space to meet later on in associations, committees, etc., for instance, on standardization, which is a huge area, from waste management affairs to plastic surveys, as well as, for instance, biodegradability on so-called biopolymers, etc., just to give a few examples. Therefore, as one of these backbones, we try to improve and establish the waste lab. And I'm really happy, my background is civil engineering, that Professor Bari is taking responsibility on the side of KUET, together with other people, for that part of the project, which should be one of the success factors on sustainability. That lab will be used collaborative as well. So for instance, it is foreseen that KUET might make as well research in that lab. So if later on, after the project, somebody will ask us, where is the significant knowledge based? The answer should be KUET and KUET, and partly Germany, the Bauhaus-Universität. Therefore, definitely we need the waste lab. The second part of this continuation and sustainability might be the awareness center. The awareness center, which is established and already been mentioned by Professor Rafisul at KCC. So if we like to make the public aware on different issues, we have to provide space as well. Space to meet, space to make meetings, space to inform, space to hand over questions. Waste management is a social and economic issue. It needs space, it needs a visible space. And I'm very thankful that the process is ongoing, and the city, KCC, is providing space, and later on, not later on, but the project is providing parallel money to introduce the awareness center. So we have a location where to meet. As I said, we might spread information. Hopefully, we can try and have the possibility to meet, to be into contact. On this line, the board of directors is been mentioned, and it has already been established. Why a board of directors? Why this structure? At the end, we have to ensure that we have a certain quality of results, that we have a transparency, what we do with that amount of money, where is it going? We have to ensure that at the end, we realize the output of the project, since the funder has the idea that he would like to measure our output on different indicators. More or less, that is fair, more than fair. Parallel, we have to ensure project management and progress. So I'm very thankful that on the first level, we have introduced the so-called project, well, I would prefer having the other slide still, if you won't mind. Thank you so much. We have introduced the project lead as the first level, and the project lead has been set. That means Professor Rafisul, Professor Chuti, Mr. Abiul Chabar, and myself, we belong to the project lead. And there's no way we have the responsibility. Responsibility at the end cannot be shared. You are responsible or you're not. So we are responsible. I'm very thankful that we could extend on a second level the board of directors with the supervisory board. And the members which belong, it's an elective board. Additionally to the group of the project lead is Professor Muhammad Alamgir, Professor Bari, and Professor Hassan from these side related more or less to KUET, and it is Professor Asiful and Professor Chutip from KUET. And probably we might extend it for one member by the KCC as well. Thank you very much that you take the effort, because we have to meet annually. We have a huge program as well for the board members. Thank you so much for your willingness to participate in that part of the committee, being a supervisory board member. Additionally, on the third level, we have a special committee, because we don't want to sit in a glass house, so-called glass house. We would like to involve the results of the working groups, as well as the information, as well as challenges and problems from the working groups, as well as from, for instance, political or implementing partners to the board. And this special committee might be time to time on certain issues being invited, so that we have the direct contact as well to the lead and the supervisory board. Still having that transparency, I could say that that the masterminds who made this project proposal had in mind, had the idea and the strong opinion, that is probably the right saying, that the role of a university is to work on challenges of the society. And if that is the role of the university, it can only happen with a strong links on practical application as well as analysis on site. And therefore, that is the reason why we established those 5 working groups. And Professor Rafisul gave already the insights, but just for instance, the secondary disposal points, what is the aim? We like to increase plastic recycling rates. And we write on a second part, we'd like to reduce environmental pollution. So probably we need a better organization or reorganization on that issue. A second working group, the recycling shops. Yes, it is the integration of the non-recyclable, because Bangladesh is a land which knows recycling of plastics very well, very well. Probably better than Germany because you don't have artificial incentives for that. But still, we have a huge amount of non-recyclable plastics, and we have to think about how can we integrate those plastics as well in a municipal, for instance, municipal or public-private partnership related collection system. That is a challenge for us. Another group, working group, will work on landfill. Nevertheless, that we have had already a landfill project in Khulna financed by the EU and Rajband. On the long term, we need to ensure a safe disposal. And if we take the landfill itself, it has a strong relation to the water body, for instance. And depending on the weather condition, plastic waste will be introduced into the water system. So we have the prevention of open plastic pollution to the environment. We will not plan the sealing system for that landfill site, but we have certain related issues, and I'm very thankful that the initiatives have already been started. The case of Mongla Port is one of the working groups. The identification and transfer of countermeasurements to Chattogram Port, and we'd like to avoid the discharge of plastics into the ocean. Later on, I'm coming back to that issue. It seems to me a country like Bangladesh, which is water related, water sensitive, it is one of the focal points to have looks to the developed as well as developing ports. And last but not least, we have these plastic substitution, since plastic very often in our life is very useful. On the other side, very often it might be substituted. So the evaluation of plastic substitution potentials in different areas is one of the topics. And we have in mind as well introducing the reinvention, rediscovering of a very famous natural grown product of Bangladesh, the golden fiber of jute. So that is the working group number 5. But if you allow me, I would like to point out why it is so important to look at those issues, even that in this time the Ukraine war happens, prices of food and fuel are increasing, COVID-19 is still around us. We have the experience, we couldn't travel, for instance, for the